Every disc golf experience has its own unique recipe. Out here, nestled in the green mountains of Vermont, we combine hops, tight wooded fairways, the money game, and lifelong friendships. Mix in some Grateful Dead, and what you get is an experience that reminds me of why we all started playing in the first place. I'm Simon Lizotte, and this is Beyond Disc Golf.
Right? Yeah! Money game.
Impressed?
Like what? What are we doing here?
Hey everyone, I want to let you know this video is brought to you by Flight Factory. Flight Factory has over 25,000 discs in stock and has all of the accessories and apparel that you need to elevate your game on and off the course. They work closely with a good friend of ours, Calvin Heinberg, you may have heard of him, and they just released this new design with hoodies and long sleeve shirts that help support Calvin out on tour. You can check them out at flightfactorydiscs.com or visit their retail location in Pensacola, Florida and browse one of the best selections of disc golf gear in the game. And Flight Factory wants to hook all of our viewers up with a special offer of 10% off your order through February 5th. All you have to do is enter code JOMEZ2023 at flightfactorydiscs.com. You get 10% off your order through February 5th, so be sure to take advantage of that offer. Huge thanks to Flight Factory for sponsoring this video. All right, let's get back to it.
Off to Vermont. Vermont, the #1 state to live in the US, if you like mountains and nature, and disc golf and beer. The list doesn't stop, really.
So, why Vermont? Well, we've been invited up to the Green Mountain State by an old friend of mine, who might just have the perfect story for our first episode. Matt Cohen, or Matty-O to his friends, is the founder of Fiddlehead Brewing Company and the host of the fabled Money Game. This week, I'm one of the few outsiders fortunate enough to be invited to play in the league.
Oh, I think that's his house. Oh my God, look at that house. That's a freaking hotel. What? What? Welcome to Vermont. Welcome to Vermont.
Simon!
Oh my gosh.
Welcome to Fennario.
When did you find disc golf and how did you get hooked?
Well, it ties right into my professional brewing career. I was working at another brewery before I founded Fiddlehead, and one of my employees, or fellow employees, came up and said, "Hey, I just played this game this weekend." I was like, "What kind of game was it?" He's like, "Oh, it's called disc golf." And I was like, "Disc golf?" He's like, "Yeah, it's played with frisbees."
A friend of his was playing, and he challenged his friend that by the end of this year that he could beat him at disc golf. He had never played before, and told him, "I can beat you at disc golf."
So I said, "Let's do a week's worth of lunch." And so the bet was laid. And I went out with him, and I threw the first hole, and I was like, I'm thinking to myself, man, I'm gonna build one of these things.
Well, within 2 weeks, he was cutting holes on his property, and then next thing you knew, he had a course at his house. And I'm pretty sure that he made good on that bet and beat that guy by the end of the year.
And I had 2 baskets, and I had 2 holes, and we just started playing. And then I just started like envisioning other holes, and I just started cutting. And I got a group of friends that I was kind of learning with at the time, and they came over, and we started kind of a little league, if you will. It was really, it was pretty rough, but it really got us going. And then I said to myself, I said, you know what, I'm going to open this up, because I was just playing against the same players every time, and I felt like we weren't really getting any better. And so I went online to the local forum for the local disc golf chapter, and I throw it up there, and I said, a money game is happening. And that's how kind of the origin. I don't know why I called it that. And I threw the $sign. I said money game. It's like, hey, I'm having a tournament this Wednesday at my house. Free beer, I said. 10 strangers showed up that Wednesday. And they quickly became some incredible people and to know and great friends.
I don't know how serious you took me when I told you, but this is legitimately the first IPA I ever liked.
Really?
Because, you know, I grew up in Germany,
Yeah.
and it's all Pilsners and the Weiss beer. And then I met you, and you gave us a box of Mastermind.
Yeah.
And the first IPA I ever liked, it's actually a double IPA, which is shocking that that's my first IPA.
Yeah, and I don't know if you shot well that weekend. I can't remember.
To get some more history about this place, we sit down to chat with a good friend of mine who traces his disc golf roots back to the money game.
As far as I know, your first ever competitive round of disc golf was at a money game.
Yeah, it was at Twin Falls over at Matt's first property in this area right down the road. I felt like I kind of stepped into a different world because, I mean, it was just like this misty little course in the backwoods of Vermont. It was super fun.
When we first started playing, there was a couple of baskets that you had to move after you played them so we could get, you know, more holes out of it.
I kept adding holes over there till eventually we ran out of space. I had walked every square inch of this property and just fell in love. There's something special about it, and it's just so unique with all the cliffs and just the different types of shots that I envisioned and different types of holes. So I couldn't afford it at the time. I was just starting my business, but I had to have it. It was one of those things. My ultimate goal too was to build a house, but build a disc golf course around the house, so you can just walk out the house and be on the front tee, the first tee.
I think that's every disc golfer's dream.
Yes, I hear that often. People say, "Oh, this is my dream" when they come here.
After the long car ride this afternoon, I'm excited to check out the course. So I convinced Matt and the crew to play a few holes before dark.
So the first time I walked this property, I was laying out the holes in my mind.
Yeah.
And then I walked it probably another 15 times before we ever cut anything. Just kind of like I staked it originally, and you literally could not see. When I first bought this property, you couldn't see between here and the basket. We did so much, we've cut so much stuff. And some parts of this property, like you can get lost almost because it's just so confusing and mysterious, if you will. And that led me to naming of the course.
The name Fennario, what does it mean to you, or does it have a definition?
Well, Fennario, it's named after lyrics from a Grateful Dead song, The Timbers of Fennario.
It's a song called Dire Wolf. And the story of the song takes place in the timbers of Fennario. And so that's where this word came from.
The name of the course, Fennario, does that have a meaning for you?
Oh yeah, yeah. Peggy O from the Grateful Dead. The line, Fennario, the timbers of Fennario.
What does that mean?
I don't know what it means. I always went to the Dead for the music. I didn't look too deeply into the words, but if you think about it, the timbers of Fennario, you know, we're out here in the timbers of Fennario now.
The Grateful Dead have sung a lot about this place called Fennario, and no one really truly knows where it is. Mm-hmm. It's kind of this mythical place. It's a unique place, and when I came up here and really started to learn more about it, I just thought it was a natural fit.
I want to throw one good shot.
Practice for tomorrow.
One good shot.
You got to win. Oh, jeez.
I missed that. There you go.
Right behind it. Wow.
After only 2 holes, I can see the work it took to carve this course out of the thick Vermont woods. But Chris tells me there was no hesitation when he was asked to help build a new course for the money game.
I'm in the tree business, and it was just a natural slide into when he got this land we're standing on. You know, let's build a course. Yes, please. Anybody that calls me up and says, you want to come and build a course, I don't say no, you know.
People don't understand the amount of work it is to clear a fairway in the forest of Vermont. Mm-hmm. Things grow too. I mean, that's what I do. Chris, again, he's the heavy hitter. He'll take out the big trees. Mm-hmm. He'll be here with his tractor all day. I come in, I drag for him. I'll trim around him and stuff like that.
Before it was cut, some of those holes I wouldn't even told you they were possible.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like staring into dense, thick woods.
Well, yeah, I've been there.
So it was carved out of nothing.
If you would describe this course to like someone that's never played here before, without showing any pictures, like how would you describe the vibes and the terrain?
I would say it is rolling and rocky and challenging. Yeah, this course has got some challenging throws for a new thrower, as much as anything because of the elevation.
Oh, what a kick. Don't go right. What?
Don't keep going. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
That's good, right?
That's the abyss.
The abyss is good.
Maybe that's not translating well.
We do have a language barrier. What kind of person is Chris?
Chris is a machine. I don't really think he's a person. I think he is like a machine. I've known Chris now for 15 years. He looks the same, exactly the same. He won't tell you this, but he's out here, he's working around. That guy's like 61, 62 years old. He does all the woods work. He'll drop any tree. He never stops.
When I asked Maddie to describe you, he laughed and he said, Chris is a machine. What do you think about that?
I work hard, I'd say, you know. I have an ability to visualize to see what the end is and to kind of keep my head down until I get there.
Definitely a labor of love. And also, you know, I think about the guys while I'm up here working, you know, and I think about, oh yeah, when they come up to this tee box, I want them to really get a good view of like taking this whole hole. Like they might not notice the minutia, but you definitely hear from guys later, just like, the course looks great. And like when people come up to me the night of Money Game and they say, the course looks great. It looks great out there. Thanks for your work. Like, I've won.
Dave has really emerged as, he's one of the greatest people I know and is so generous with his time. He's a person that you can always ask for help, and he's always willing to basically drop what he's doing and come support you, whatever that need might be.
All right, here we go. Highlight putt for the cameras. Oh, whiffed it.
Oh. All right, I saw the way. Thanks for showing me the way here.
Showing you what not to do is better than what to do. Oh, yeah. The dart in the heart.
Yeah.
Not everyone's out there building courses. So, you know, it gives me a good feeling at the end if I can build something that's satisfying not only to me, but to other people. They enjoy playing on it. As I play it, I'm feeling pretty good about where we've gotten to. Mm-hmm. You know, remembering that it's still a backyard course, right? Gotta keep some perspective on that.
One more sneaky little inside gap.
Oh, look at that. That's a great shot right there.
That's where we're supposed to go.
Great shot.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah, the signature.
Oh, yeah. That's something you could deal with every day.
Right? So you couldn't see any of that when I first bought the property. We cleared off so much off this.
And then you opened it up and you were like, oh.
Yeah, oh, this is incredible. Yeah, you see that peak, that kind of pyramid peak? That's Whiteface. That's where we had the U.S. Olympics in the 80s. That's where we beat the Russians, baby. Right there. One of the problems originally when I first started making the course was that every time I'd come out here, everyone's like, oh, you must play disc golf so much. You have this course in your backyard. The reality was I never played because I'd go out and I just start cleaning up sticks and, you know, cutting down trees, and I never had a real opportunity to play. And it wasn't until a few years ago when kind of Chris and Dave took it over and started to really maintain the course for me that I can go out and actually enjoy it, which has been such an amazing experience to have this incredible disc golf course in your backyard. But it does require maintenance. Every day, there's always stuff falling down. That was a Heiser flip right there.
As the sun sets on our first day at Fennario, I can already see why Matt invited us out here. Epic views, great friends, good beer, and this wasn't even the main event.
We are pretty in shape today, I'd say, and we're definitely excited to go check out the brewery now. We are headed to Fiddlehead Brewing Company, and I'm just really looking forward to what Matteo has set up in his brewery because he does things apparently the right way. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be like a pretty new, state-of-the-art, high-tech brewery, and it's going to be pretty mind-blowing. Not only the size, but also just the logistics and technology involved. It's going to be pretty cool.
As soon as we arrive, we meet the head of production and one of the founding members of Fiddlehead, John Moorer.
I met Matt through disc golf, so I kind of fell into my career because of disc golf.
Yeah.
Met most of my friends through disc golf, even though we don't play much anymore. It's kind of how we all got to know each other. I told Matt right when he told me he was opening a brewery that I want to be part of it. I want in.
So we went up and we camped for the night, and we were drinking beers. And I was the head brewer at the 5th largest brewery at the time, and I had this thing going, and I probably hadn't too many beers at the time, but I started talking to my new friends that I had met, and I said, hey guys, I'm gonna be opening up a brewery. I want to open up my own brewery. And without hesitation, John looks at me and he's like, I'm in. And I'm like, John, you've never brewed a batch of beer. He's like, I don't care. Whatever you need me to do. I believe in your passion. I believe in you. I'm in.
Do you ever have other beers?
No.
No?
Never.
Is that a rule?
No, it's not a rule, but I mean, occasionally, but whenever I'm out, I only go to accounts that serve my beer. And so I want to try my beer, make sure it's tasting as fresh as it did when it left the brewery.
Fiddlehead is a plant, right?
It's the head of a fern, but it's a New England delicacy, and that's why I chose the name, because I wanted to have broad, like New England appeal, but not be overtly like Vermont beer or something like that.
So people eat fiddleheads?
They do, yeah. I wouldn't recommend it.
No. I would love to try one just for the story.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, the craft is the repeatability, right? Mm-hmm. In my opinion, anyone can brew a one-off great beer. That's easy, but now make that beer 10 times. It's like my disc golf game compared to your disc golf game. I can make a birdie, but I can't do it. I can't make 10 birdies in a row. That's the true champion. That's that level. That's being at that level.
I think also just the intentions is what matters. Like, the reason I play disc golf is not to make money or be the best or anything. It's for the spirit of the game and to like bring people joy and make it exciting. And I think obviously your reason to brew beer is not to build this empire. It's to make the best beer you can.
Make the best. That's our goal every day. I tell people we're not here saving lives. We're making beer.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a great industry to be
exactly.
in. And but for us, that's where we find the art is just the consistency in the product.
How would you describe Matt?
Well, I think that he shares a little of that machine-like quality that I have, but in his desire to get his beer right. He was known at Magic Hat as a kind of a perfectionist, And I think that he brings that brings that to Fiddlehead, and now it's his thing, so it's even multiplied. He's even more driven to get it just right.
So we do a battery of tests during the beer's residency time here, as well as before it's released. We'll do about 18 different tests.
Mm-hmm. Is that like mandatory, or you just?
No, it's all left up to the individual.
Your quality control, basically.
Yeah.
Who gets to taste the beers first?
Michael, probably. We all do.
Everyone.
Yeah, everyone's always drinking. Sampling.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, and
am I part of it now?
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Absolutely. No, I mean that's really our most. We learn a lot from both our employees as well as like customers. They've had a lot of Fiddlehead, so they if something's up, they'll let you know quickly.
He's always had the vision right from the beginning, and as you can see, it's worked out pretty well. Here we are 10 years later. I think he's got a very clear vision in pretty much everything he does, whether it be beer or disc golf. He's got a direction in that he takes, and he sticks to it and executes.
He knows what he wants.
He knows what he wants, and he knows how to get it.
Yeah.
Or if he doesn't know how to get it, he figures it out.
Probably most people don't realize and know what's going on behind the scenes in a brewery. But it's pretty fascinating, all the science that goes into brewing beer.
So we're looking at we're able to see this is the liquid that's coming out of the lauter tun. So it's got a little bit of particulate in there.
Here?
For sampling, if you want to try it.
I want to try everything.
All right, let me grab you a glass.
I think I'm about to try some sugar water, as far as I understand. I'm very basic with my beer knowledge. Hops have not been added, or have they?
They have not been.
Okay.
So if the beer is not fermented, it's wort at this point. It has not been fermented, so there's no alcohol in there. It's just sweet.
I'm going in with low expectations.
It's hot.
Oh, it's hot.
Yeah, it's 170 degrees.
So I shouldn't drink it.
Yeah, that you can just take a little sip of it.
It's not too hot to drink?
I don't think so. I don't want to,
Oh my.
Right?
It is?
Not bad, yeah. So
it already looks like beer, some kind.
Yeah. So it's high in sugar. There's a thing called the brewer's cocktail, and it's an old brewing trick. In the morning, if you're all hungover, you take the first runnings that are high in sugar. You put a scoop of brewer's yeast in there, and then you just pound it and just start your day.
You don't get hangovers anymore.
No, I'm a pro.
I wish I wouldn't get any.
Oh, here we go. Check this out. This is where we mill all the grain.
And milling just breaks them open?
Breaks it open,
Yeah.
and because those enzymes that we need to break down the starches and convert them to sugar are found on the outer hull of the barley, and the starch is on the inside, so we have to crack it.
Are these grains like roasted or anything?
They are, yeah. They have these are our specialties, and they're kiln dried,
Okay.
depending on the styles of beer that you're going to make.
And they taste pretty good, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We can try some right here.
We're trying everything today.
So, not bad, right?
It's like candy.
Yeah. So here, there's the outer hull, right? That's where those enzymes are. If you crack it open, you see that white? You see the white there?
Yeah.
That's the starch that we're converting to sugar.
I think I'm actually understanding how this works. I really like it.
What's really cool about beer is that it's more or less been made the same way for hundreds and if not thousands of years.
Welcome to Beyond Disc Golf, where we are playing disc golf, drinking beers, brewing beers, experiencing the spirit, the life of the sport, grassroots, friends, family. That's what it's all about. It's not about money. It's not about fame. It's not about sponsors. It's about why we play, why we started.
We leave the brewery and head back to the house. And soon after, the money gamers begin to arrive. The group is larger than I expected, but Matt tells me the money game was more exclusive in the beginning.
Every other Wednesday, I'd put this thing online, and people would literally wait online. On Sunday, I'd post it. Sunday night at 7 o'clock, and everyone would wait online because the course was so small that only 16 players could play. We could only have a handful of cards out there. So people would literally wait, and it was like a lottery because it just started climbing. The word got out.
It's really the same cast of characters that have been playing it for, over a decade now.
Mm-hmm.
And I've, a lot of good friends met there too, so.
And do you know the origin of Money Game?
They had been playing a little bit before I first got there. I think there had been a few. It was like their club, like some people, golf, some people play cards. They played disc golf and you threw money in and whoever wins takes all the money. So it was like winner take all.
We probably draw about 30 to 40 people every other Wednesday at the money game. And the reality is probably 5 of those people can actually win on any given day. Actually, we got this new kid. No one's going to ever win again. But so if you're really not there to win, you're there to collaborate and to have a good time.
Yeah, everyone I've talked to says for some of them it's the only time they get to play, and it's every 2 weeks, and they really look forward to every money game spring to fall, and it's definitely something very important and special to them.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Money Game 2022. So I don't know if it was the free beer or the shitty disc golf play, but the word got out. And people want to see this. They have to see this happen. And so we've got some very special guests here. The star of the PDGA, Simon Lizotte, world record holder, distance. He's our star. And I just want to say this has been an incredible thing. We've been doing this now, what? Does anyone know? 13 years? 10 plus years we've been doing this. And we've had an incredible group of people.
I want to talk about the contrast between working for the Pro Tour and seeing events like this.
I can tell you that there have been people coming through Money Games that are like, really like, you can't make stuff up on the fly. Like, why wasn't this rule in place? That's one of the contrasts, because like Matty runs it, and if he puts in a rule, you know, you may show up here and he says, today it's one disc only. And you're like, oh my God, okay. You know, I didn't know that. I think there's an element of surprise that's built in to the Money Game.
And put Simon on the spot. The house is putting up $100 to anyone that can beat Simon. Don't tank because I'll be, no, don't tank and you're gonna come in last. You're welcome, guys, enjoy.
Why doesn't he put that pressure on me?
As if on cue, Money Game had adopted a new rule for the night, one that brought some added pressure. But all of that was secondary to the feeling of excitement as we walked to the first tee, knowing the moment we came for was finally here.
All right, what do you say for Money Game? Good game?
Yeah, have fun.
Glad to be here.
All right, guys.
That's key.
There
right
it is.
You say cheers.
Prost.
Oh, they're already at that.
My first competitive beer round. Let's see what I got. First throw of the day. Hold that. Oh. Where's my beer? Money Game.
Money Game.
What is Money Game?
What is Money Game? Money Game is good times, good friends and good times. You know, we have a good crew of people there. That's also grown over the years.
We're not like the most super tightest friends that you're gonna call every night, but you know exactly what you're getting with the guys that you see each time you come here. It's a community. It's a community of friends that gather around for the same thing, and that's what disc golf should be doing.
If I asked you what is Money Game, what would you say?
It's a lot of what Matt talked about. You know, these are my, these is friends and family. These are the people we look forward to seeing every summer. And, you know, we know about each other's lives and families, and we just come out and, you know, that's what it is mostly, coming out to just hang out with your buddies.
Yeah.
For most of us, the money's really secondary, and it really is just that these are the boys, right?
Yeah,
this is the camaraderie,
exactly.
getting together. And
The Money Game means a lot to me. The community here means a lot. And, you know, I feel that a lot of my roots and my start in the game kind of resonate out from this spot.
We kind of have that ultimate experience with having the talents of someone like Matt at our hands, and someone who's generous enough to share it with us all the time. You know, you just can't get any luckier than that.
So after three holes were birdie free.
$60 shot, Simon.
Oh, there's a flag on this hole?
should be.
All right.
Flag or no flag, there's $60 on it. So we'll mark it with something.
So Simon.
We'll mark it with a beer. 4.
Wouldn't be the first time a stick with an empty beer can on top marked it. Yep, that's the shot.
Yep.
All
There
right,
we go.
there. Nice
There's
shot.
a birdie.
That could be parked
It's parked.
or a bit long.
Not long.
Definitely parked.
It's definitely something.
I'm pretty sure everyone that's played at one point or another has won a CTP or won of the money game. You know.
I think like one of the first money games I played, I ended up getting the win, and you would take home like $200. So I was like, that's awesome. Like, I just won $200 for coming and just having a good time with a good group of guys.
Oh, I'm closer. Let's go. $60.
Nice.
Thank you.
All right,
birdie.
Cards awake now.
How do I mark that it was me? Or I don't?
There's a flag. I got a Sharpie.
Yeah.
Is that how you do it?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. CTP, $60. So sick. Thank you. We're out here nestled in the Green Mountains of Vermont. And I'm sure, especially after people see this place, how can they come play?
This is my house. That's very intimate. Every time we have a tournament outside the money game, that is always the question. And I start off, I'm like, welcome to Fennario. This is your one opportunity to be here if you're not a money gamer. I built this for my friends and family, really.
Oh, I'm gonna have to get my pants wet. Ooh, this is challenging.
Nice. Nice.
How does that stay in?
Turkey.
That is 3 twos in a row.
Isn't that a money game rule? If you get a turkey, you got a shotgun and beer?
It is now.
I'm a pro shotgunner. No one knows about that though.
German blood, you know. It's
German blood. Number dos.
Yeah,
baby.
David.
It has only been a rain out one time. And so we call it the money game gods. And the one time it rained, someone must have done something bad to upset the money game gods. And we saw that on this past Wednesday when you came out and play all day long, all week long leading up to it. 100% chance of rain all day. It's gonna be pouring from noon on till midnight. And what happened come tea time?
Peaceful.
Peaceful. I didn't get a drop of rain on me. So that's the money game gods right there speaking.
Did it start raining?
Here you go.
No, it doesn't rain in money game.
There you go.
It's just dripping.
I hope you didn't film that catch. SL. 2 for 2. Cleaning up out here. Cleaning up.
That's
Number
the
3.
last beer stop, probably till the end.
So you might want to grab like 3 or 4.
Grab at least 2, right?
We've had some players in the past that come here and they just want to win, and that's great. I mean, I want good competition. That's what it's about, partly. But it's not just about the golf. I'm not looking for someone to come here and if they have a bad round, take off. It's like, no, you have a bad round, come inside. I'm gonna make you some food. We're gonna eat a great meal, and we're gonna have some beers, and we're gonna have a bunch of laughs. All right, we're doing carne asada tonight for Cinco de Mayo. It's May 4th, but close enough. We always start the first money game of the year.
We're only 3 hours away.
All right, on Cinco de Mayo. So we got some skirt steak that we've been marinating for a day or 2.
How are you shooting, Maddie?
Horrible. I walked off. Well, we did. My whole car did.
Oh, you all walked off?
Yeah. We're like, okay, I guess we're dropping this one.
I'm trying to remember the last time I cared this little about my score during a round. But that's kind of the point out here. To see all the laughs and conversations throughout the clubhouse afterwards is proof that the most important part of the evening is the time we spend together with our friends.
Should I try it first?
I didn't think about that at school. Oh, dude, there's food in front of me. Like, I will not.
There's also just the memories of just hanging out on the porch too. So yeah.
That's what makes events like this.
Yeah.
The way I grew up, disc golf was never really about the competition. It was more about the people and the party.
Yeah.
So we'll start with the CTPs, right?
Yeah.
What do we have? We start off with
4. This is the first one.
All right, who do we got?
I think it is Aaron.
Took it from Simon.
Oh!
Right at the end of the rounds.
Then we went to hole 8, which at one point Simon had from a foot in front of mine, but they weren't that close.
Wait, I lost that one too?
No, Simon. That's up.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Money game.
Now we have a couple folks who took Matt up on his bounty.
So we've got Zach Leffler.
Where's Zach?
Second place last year
57?
in the
50%.
pros.
Wow.
And with a $100 bonus on the typical win.
Plus 160.
Plus,
100 plus 160.
okay.
260.
260.
For a score of multiple weeks.
260. Does anyone know?
Shooting at 55.
55.
Oh, dominating.
The winner of the Fall Invitational. Thanks very much for everyone for coming out, and Simon especially. We really appreciate you coming out and
pleasure.
sharing your life with us. Really appreciate it.
Amen. Guys. I've been hearing about this event for years. I met Matt for the first time in 2014. That's now 8 years ago. My first tour in the States. And someone got stuck. He brewed the first IPA I ever liked in my life, and now it's a huge part of my life, so it's great to be back. Amazing place, Matty. It's like unreal stuff, and this is what it's all about, spirit of the game, and I took it all in. I had 5 IPAs on the round. Feeling great.
Yeah, I want to always thank Chris Mayon, Dave Bouchard, those guys are out here.
I was a bit nervous for that speech, but I pulled it off, I think. I'm good at acting like I know what I'm doing. So I think I pulled it off. Time for a beer? Round 6?
Round 6.
Let's do it.
It truly was an amazing night. An example of how this game can bring us together and create lasting relationships. As we wrap up a few magical days here, I can't help but wonder, what does the future hold for Fennario?
I see it to continue to evolve, and I hope we're able to pass this on. And I want to live here forever. I love Vermont. I love this state. It's an incredible place. It's incredible people. Until I can't host it anymore, I may not always play, but I will always have a money game. I just love having people here, and if I'm the guy that has to stay back and just get everything prepared for the meal, if that's my role and that's where I'm best served, then I'll be happy to do that. I just want it to happen. I like just being around the people, and I love the enthusiasm, and I love the community.
He calls the house the clubhouse. He said, I'm not kidding. I built this as the clubhouse. And there's a will. And if anything happens to Maddie, John gets the house or the course, and he's got to keep it a disc golf course.
I love that.
Yeah.
I heard that, knock on wood, if anything was to happen to you,
Yes.
someone would get this house and would have to do some things.
A portion of the life insurance policy would go to pay this off, and then another portion would go to maintain the house in perpetuity. And John Moore, my best friend and coworker, would get the house, and we would have enough money to maintain it forever, and the money game just needs to continue. If I die on a Tuesday, I want this money game to happen on Wednesday. I want people to be here, and I want them to remember all the great times that we've had together.
That's special.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope it never happens, but it'll be a hell of a story.
If it never happens, that would be even more special.
Right, the asset, right.
Finally, just huge thank you for hosting us and letting us be a part of everything you created here with Money Game, letting us see your business and the brewery, letting us inside of everything, and free range. It was a really cool experience, and I think we really got what we wanted the show to be, is what goes beyond disc golf. What a week. Great times in Vermont. I have to say, one of my all-time favorite states, one of the coolest places to travel to, and What a crazy experience. Matty O is one of the craziest, coolest, most different guys I think I've ever met. And he loves his friends and his community and his group, and he uses all his success to create a great time for everyone. And I think that's what's the special story here, is Matty O kind of living the dream and sharing it with everyone. Through disc golf, through his beer, through his passions, and definitely very inspiring. Pretty nuts. Pretty nuts, and I'm very sad to leave because the days up here were some of the most enjoyable days I've had all year. And I can't wait to be back for my next money game.
All right, Simon, we got some parting gifts.
Oh my God.
Keep it fresh, keep it cold.
Oh yeah.
And keep it real, man.
Please, store cold.
It has been an incredible few days here.
Hey, thank you so much. I love the beer.
Thank you. I love your game, and I love the sport, and I really appreciate everything you do for it.
You're a proud owner of the first ever
What?
Beyond Disc Golf Episode 1.
I love it.
And
This is my new putter?
that's a link, and I think you'll love it.
All right.
And of course I don't know if you collect cans or something, but
Of course.
these are obviously unopened, and if you want to try them,
All right.
obviously you can.
I will.
But this is Lizotte. I helped brewing this beer in some
Okay.
sense of the word.
Yeah, right.
And we have the Crest Juice Double IPA and the Cloud Pleaser. More of an easy drinker IPA, but
Oh, that is incredible.
I'm dabbling my feet into brewing myself a bit because,
Hey, it's a good profession, I'll tell you.
yeah.
You do it right, you take your passion you have and you apply it to something else, you can be successful. You will be successful if you love what you do every day.
And then you share it with your friends.
Absolutely.
Pleasure, dude. Thank
Pleasure.
you.
Thank you so much for coming out. Welcome to Fennario. Now you know where it is, but shh.